This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and today we're in Centennial, Colorado. We're at the Office of Comfort Keepers. Since 1997, they have been providing local, loving, in-home care while helping maintain independence and quality of life. I'm here with Terry and Sherry. Sherry, let me begin with yourself, first of all. Share with me a little bit about yourself and why it is you got involved with Comfort Keepers.
Well, back in 2002, I was looking for a part-time job that made a difference. I wanted to make a difference in people's lives. So I found the opportunity to be an office manager at a local Comfort Keepers office and went on from there, been there ever since 2002. Had a chance to get to know clients through caregiving as well as working with them in the office status, and grew to love every single one of them every time.
Wonderful. Let me ask you, Terry, is it a common thread basically with probably everyone on staff here of making a difference?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. I'm going to start here. Basically, throughout our life, we go through many stages, be it infants, adolescence, into adulthood, and then as a senior. Throughout each one of those stages, is it important, a need from humans basically to remain independent? And is that what you find happening?
Yes, especially seniors. They are used to being independent their whole lives, raising their children, having their own homes, their own cars, their own activities in life. And then when disease processes start setting in, or just simple aging, and they can't accomplish those things anymore, they find that they need help. They may not always want help, but we are there when they do.
Speaking of needing help, obviously, this is something that can gradually happen. Share with me some of the tasks that you make available through Comfort Keepers.
It goes the whole range. We can do what we refer to as companion care, so we can help them with laundry and meal preparation, light housekeeping, running errands. We can also go a little bit further into personal care, helping them with bathing assistance and dressing and grooming, and a little bit more hands-on care.
So really it depends on the need of the person. Obviously you're dealing with different lifestyles of different seniors, of the disabled. So we're talking about a very customized approach that you put together, a customized care plan.
We do. We have some clients that just need somebody to come in and take them to a doctor appointment every now and then, as well as others that are basically bedbound 24/7. And so we can come alongside all of those situations in between there and help them at wherever they're at.
Wonderful. Are they finding that interactive caregiving really is able to improve a person's life, even maybe even live longer? Is that what's happening?
Yes, absolutely. With our interactive caregiving model, we're able to truly customize a care plan based on the client's needs. We learn a lot about their family history, maybe how they live their life, and so wherever they are cognitively, our caregivers are trained to really reach in to understand the client so they can either cue them to perform a task and engage with them. So it's a very positive response.
Wonderful. One of the things you touched on earlier, basically, so you're talking about scheduled every day, certain days. What about if a parent or a caregiver at home needs to get away just for a few hours or possibly a few days? Is that something you provide as well?
We do. We can provide anything from 1 hour of coverage up to 24 hours, 7 days a week. We can help folks at the last minute. Say a family member that is a caregiver needs to go to a doctor's appointment that just arises. They can call us and we can find someone to go and help stay with their parent.
Wonderful. Some of the events, obviously, as they're maintaining their independence, a lot of times, like I say, it can happen gradual. Many times it probably can happen suddenly, maybe after a hospital stay, possibly a big surgery. Are you there to help with the transition into the home as well?
We do. We can go and meet with the families and with the client while they're in the hospital or in the rehab. We do that numerous times. So we get to know them there. And then once they come home, we go home with them. We can do a home safety assessment and evaluate the condition of their home for their new status and their new standing, perhaps, if they're physically come home in a wheelchair or walkers. And then we help the families know some things that can change around the home, but we also help families know new things that need to be considered for their care, for their parents' care, because a hospitalization, a fall, breaking a bone changes the whole game. And where they used to be able to live alone, now they no longer can. And sometimes adult children don't understand that change.
Interesting. Quite honestly, you're basically there for grooming needs. We're talking about some housekeeping possibly, maybe medications that are need to be given, that type of thing. But honestly, it's probably a situation also where you really befriend these folks, and the companionship has to be invaluable.
Absolutely. I mean, overall, we provide peace of mind for the for the client that we're caring for, and also the family.
A reassuring presence they can truly trust.
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent. Folks, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website. On the website, you're going to see some of the services that we've talked about here. We've touched on just a few of them. And basically, you're going to see also they have online resources available. Maybe you're beginning that conversation in your home with a loved one. You're not sure of where you're at. You can take an assessment right there, or quite honestly, give them a call because they'll schedule an in-home assessment personally for the needs of your loved one as well. I would imagine that basically the success of the organization for these many years really comes down to the staff that you have out in the field. What is the screening process and the training that each one of these go through?
Well, each person comes in and fills out a full application, and we do background checks on them, very thorough background checks. We have a physical person that walks into the county courthouse of every county a caregiver has lived in, so we really do thorough checks. We also check all of their references. We do skills training, hands-on skills training, and orientation prior to them going out to be with a client. Majority of them already have experience working with seniors. That's why they're there, because they love working with seniors.
If we have a viewer out there, possibly a parent of a loved one who is thinking about starting that conversation, is it helpful for them to be educated as the right way to go about doing that? And is that something you can help with from the get-go?
Absolutely, absolutely. We create a roadmap for them because many times families, I mean, they're uncertain of what their future is going to look like and what the disease process, and they're embarking on an area that they've never traveled before. So we as industry professionals really can help lay the landscape down for them so they know how when their family or the loved one is aging in place, what that looks like. And it takes a village of services and community efforts to make sure that goes well.
Wonderful. I imagine just the small tasks that you provide for all the way to much more elaborate, depending on the needs of the person out there. Really, in the end, it's got to be a real rewarding occupation that you've chosen, and each one of the staff have to feel that they're really touching the lives of folks out there and enriching their homes.
Yes, all of our staff, in fact, we'll oftentimes get together and discuss all of our clients, and it comes with a lot of laughter and a lot of tears oftentimes, because you do grow attached to them. They become your family, and you become their family. And then when they go through issues and problems, you're right there beside them. And if they do happen to pass, it's really a hard, difficult thing, because it's like losing a family member.
Wonderful. Terry, let me ask you this. Obviously, folks out there are looking for something like this, possibly for a parent or a loved one. As far as finances goes, setting up something like this, how are you able to provide and help there?
Our services are paid privately. However, our services can be covered under long-term care insurance. We also accept Medicaid, and there are other solutions in the community to help seniors and their families tap into the resources that can be utilized for home care services.
Wonderful. Obviously, your team is out in the field taking care of these folks, but you have also not only have the services side, but you have a complete product line specifically to this office. We're talking about in-home monitoring. We're talking about services where you're not there physically, but virtually you're keeping an eye on folks.
Yes, we have a full product line we call Safety Choice, and it's a variety of products to maintain wellness and safety in the home. So we don't have to be there, but our client has a connection to the outside world. And so it's very important to be able to, while you want to live independently, to be able to connect to the outside world when we're not there.
Let me ask you this: as far as the monitoring services, is this something also that maybe a parent can tap into, and basically is there a back end that they can take a peek into as well, or is that just something you do on this end?
Well, they're actually emergency alarm systems for, should somebody take a fall or should somebody be a wanderer. We have a GPS system, that unit that they can have. Should they wander away from the home, we can track them down through that. It all goes back to a main company that's called Guardian. And when there's an emergency and they push the button or they have a fall detector, and the system notifies the company right away that an urgent situation has occurred, then that company directly interacts with the person on site. If they can't reach them, then they can reach a family member or emergency services to come in and help them.
Can folks out there basically pick from the products and the services exactly what they need, really an a la carte approach?
Absolutely. We design a custom care plan, and which will include virtual caregiving. We also offer, in addition to our home care services, we offer private duty skilled nursing, so we can provide the continuum of care for an individual that's beyond home care services. So anything that's requiring a nurse, private duty, we can offer.
Wonderful. So basically, if they need that medical care, you also have that piece as well.
Yes, we do.
Viewers, last time there, take a look at the bottom of the screen. That is Comfort Keepers, what began way back in the 90s, now with over 700 offices worldwide. We've got a local office here, started back in 2002, and basically with a need to make a difference out there in the world. If you'll notice on the screen right there, their contact information there as well. And understand these are professional caregivers they send out in the field, what they refer to as Comfort Keepers. That is comforting solutions for in-home care. This is Gary Atensi with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.